Welcome back to YouTube channel sahihai.
Hello everyone, my name is Siddhant sadafule and I will explaining the topic projectile motion. Let's move to the next slide. What is projectile motion? It means when we throw an object in a sky and it take the horizontal and vertical way, that vertical and horizontal way is called as projectile motion. And friends, this angle that you see on your screen, that angle we can say it is a projectile angle. Now let's see some basic of the projectile motion. In the projectile motion, the opposite force is applied, which is acceleration of gravity, which is 9.8 meter per second square, and 45-degree angle is the angle that maximizes the range of our projectile motion, which means if we want the highest range, we should take the 45-degree angle for it. Now let's see some basic but very important note to be noted in projectile motion. First, when the object is moved in the horizontal and vertical object, the curved path is taken by it. That curved path is known as parabolic way or parabolic path. Second point, on that parabolic path, we can take any tangent at any point. That tangent we can combine or divide into two compounds, which is sine and cos. Where there is an angle, that side we can take as a cos. As we can see in the image, x compound means horizontal velocity is constant, but in the vertical compound the acceleration of gravity is opposing it, so the vertical compound is vary or taking different at different velocity points. But we can see the x compound or a horizontal compound which does not have any change because it doesn't have any oppose or or it is a constant. X compound and projectile velocity is always constant, which is the v cos x if the velocity compound is vary. The highest point of the velocity, which we call as a peak. At the peak, the vertical compound velocity is 0 because the acceleration of the gravity and the velocity of the vertical compound get equal. As seen in the image, the velocity of an object and the acceleration of a gravity are perpendicular to each other at the highest point. Point number 5. The velocity of the projectile is minimum at the highest point because at the highest point the vertical velocity is 0. Point number 6. At any point the projectile velocity never be 0 because the x compound has always a constant. Now let's see the horizontal height and the flight of the projectile motion. First we start with the horizontal range. The distance between point A to point B where the object is launched or the takeoff of the object and the point where the object is land, the distance between these 2 points is known as a horizontal range. We can resolve this by the formula of horizontal range, which is u square sine 2 theta upon g. Now let's move to the maximum height of an object. The highest point of the object when it's launched of the velocity, which is called as a height. We can resolve it by the formula u square sine square theta upon 2g. Now let's see the range of time of flight. But let's see what is flight. The time of an object in a space between launching and landing of an object. That time is known as the flight. A flight of an object is very important and that we can resolve by the formula u sine theta upon g. Now let's see some real life example of projectile motion that we use in daily life, like a football, bow and arrow, water fountain and cricket, and basketball is a good example of projectile motion. Let's take one example. In basketball, The projectile motion take very important role while playing basketball. In the basketball, angle of shooting, height and distance perpendicular the time and the basket from the launching till the basket it happened. Here I end my explanation and video. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for your attention.